Have you ever met someone, and before you even catch their name, a whisper in your mind says, "Don't just trust this person"? Or maybe the opposite happens. Just a few words, a glance, and your gut insists, "This one sits different. They sit real. They sit honest." That voice, it isn't magic. It's your brain, processing fragments of detail in seconds, stacking them into a judgment you didn't even know you were making. But what exactly is it working with? Is it their eyes, the weight of their voice, or something deeper, something we simply call instinct? I've always wondered about that quiet, inner warning. Why do we instantly feel drawn to some people, yet with others, without a single word exchanged, we just want to keep our distance? So, I dug in. Psychology, behavioral science, even neuroscience, and all of them whisper the same truth. First impressions are not random at all. They are patterned, predictable, systematic, and unsettling as it sounds. We size people up in as little as 10 seconds, often without ever realizing it. But here's the twist. We can also do it deliberately. In this video, I'll reveal how to read someone's personality in just 10 seconds, using science, stories, and a few tricks that peel back the mask. Sometimes, a single look tells you everything you need to know. Eye contact, when a look reveals more than words. Have you ever felt a chill from the way someone looked at you? That glance you can't quite explain, so heavy it makes you want to turn away. And then, sometimes, it's the opposite. Someone meets your gaze, steady, unflinching, and you feel it, like they've truly seen you. Eye contact isn't casual, it's powerful. Psychologists say it's less about communication, more about a silent test of trust. Too much eye contact, and it's unsettling, almost predatory. Too little, and it whispers nervousness or dishonesty. Here's the eerie part. Research shows we can often tell if someone is trustworthy in just 3 seconds of eye contact. 3. And most of the time, our instincts are frighteningly accurate. Picture it. You're having coffee with someone new. If their eyes keep shifting, darting away, your gut will sound the alarm, even if you can't explain why. That's your brain's fast, intuitive system at work, quietly scanning for danger, reading signals you don't consciously notice. So the next time you meet someone, ask yourself, how do they look at me? If their gaze is steady, warm, relaxed, chances are they're genuine. But if their eyes can't seem to stay, maybe they're not showing you their true self. Microexpressions, the secrets that slip through the mask. When someone smiles, are they really happy or just polite? The answer hides in their microexpressions. Tiny flashes of emotion flickering across the face in less than a second, so brief most people miss them. But not your brain. Your brain notices. I remember watching an old video, an FBI agent interrogating a suspect. The man looked calm, unshaken, until a flicker crossed his face. Just 0.2 seconds. Eyebrows pulled down, a flash of anger or fear. The agent caught it instantly. And just like that, he knew the man was lying. That's the power of microexpressions. If someone's truly angry but forces a smile, their face betrays them. The muscles don't align. The truth leaks through the cracks. A few examples: eyebrows shooting upward, surprise or fear, lips pressed tight, hidden anger, a smile without the eyes joining in, false. The trick is to pause. Don't just listen to words. Watch, because words deceive, but the face, especially in those fleeting moments, rarely lies. If someone says, "Nice to meet you," but their eyes stay cold, their mouth pressed just a little too tight, you already know the truth. Their face has whispered it to you. Microexpressions are small, but their meaning enormous. Hand gestures and body language, the truth your body can sit, hide. Want to know what someone is really thinking? Don't just listen to their words. Watch their hands. Watch how their body moves. See, words can be rehearsed, controlled, polished, but the body betrays. It leaks the truth, sometimes in whispers, sometimes in shouts, without the person even realizing it. I'll give you an example. I once sat in a meeting. A presenter spoke with confidence, his voice steady, his message persuasive, but his hands hidden under the table. That tiny detail told a different story. He wasn't as sure of himself as he wanted us to believe. And strangely, the whole room felt it, uneasy, guarded. Later I discovered the psychology behind it. When people can't see your hands, they instinctively trust you less. Here are a few quick codes. Open palms. You're signaling honesty, openness, nothing to hide. Hands behind your back or buried in pockets. People sense secrecy, a hidden agenda. Fidgeting fingers, anxiety bleeding through. Hands frozen, stiff, fear of losing control. And it's not just the hands. Crossed arms, that classic stay away shield. Leaning in, engagement, interest, a subtle pull toward you. Slumped shoulders, defeat, low energy, insecurity made visible. Think of body language as a map, a silent script that reveals the story behind the words. Someone might say, "I'm fine," but if their arms are tight, their shoulders curled, their body screaming, "Get me out of here." Believe the body, it never lies. Personal space, the distance that speaks louder than words. Ever notice how some people lean in so close you can feel their breath, while others hang back, almost as if there's an invisible wall between you? That distance isn't random, it's communication. The space someone keeps, whether it's during a first meeting, a job interview, or a casual chat, tells you more than most people realize. It reveals comfort, boundaries, even power. Stand too close, and it might mean warmth and friendliness, or it might mean they don't know where the line is. Sometimes it's dominance, an attempt to control the space, keep too much distance, and maybe they're cautious, shy, or asserting authority from afar. But here's where it gets interesting. It's not just the space, it's the energy within it. Do they seem relaxed as they step closer, shoulders loose, gaze steady, or do they inch forward with tension in their body, eyes tight, jaw clenched? In the end, it's not just inches that matter, it's intention. And if you pay attention, you'll hear what that distance is really saying. First impressions, the secret hidden in an opening line. Let's talk about first words. They're more than small talk, more than a greeting. They're a coded message, a glimpse into how someone wants to be seen. Think about it. You meet someone new, and the first thing out of their mouth is, "I'm really good at reading people." Right away, you know, confidence, maybe charm, maybe arrogance. Or they start with, "So, what do you do?" You instantly sense polite, social, maybe eager to connect. Every first sentence is a signal. Some flash their achievements, an unspoken claim to status. Others break the ice with humor, looking for warmth. Some choose control. Let me explain this. A need to lead, to dominate the frame. One line, That's all it takes. But the trick is this: you can't just hear the words. You have to listen to the undertone, the shadow beneath the sentence. That's where the truth lives. Small promises, big clues about who they really are. It's not the grand declarations that reveal character, it's the tiny ones. Miss, I'll text you later. And I'll send that link. I'll call tomorrow. And then, nothing. Those small promises, they're fingerprints, evidence of who a person is when the spotlight's gone. Reliability, honesty, discipline. They don't show up in the big gestures. They reveal themselves in the little ones, the ones most people dismiss. So pay attention. The smallest broken promise can speak louder than 1,000 convincing words. Small promises, tiny words, heavy truths. It hits the little things that matter most. Almost everyone says, "I'll help you out," or "let's hang out sometime," but how many actually follow through? Almost none. Here's the truth: if someone can't keep a tiny promise, don't expect them to hold up when the stakes are higher. Think of it as a mini character test. No deep conversation needed, just watch. If they say, "I'll hit you up," and then disappear, what they're really saying is, "You're not a priority," and that tells you everything. Tone of voice, the emotions, hidden in sound. Words can be polished, rehearsed, even false, but the voice betrays. Sometimes the words seem right, but the tone leaves you uneasy. Something's missing, something doesn't add up. That's because tone carries more emotion than language ever can. Loud and fast, it could be confidence, power, or panic bleeding through. Soft and slow, shy, hesitant, or unsure. Monotone, control, suppression, maybe emptiness. And the voice that rises and falls unpredictably. Emotional, empathetic, or unstable. Even rhythm is a giveaway, a sudden slowdown. After your question, they're choosing their words carefully. A sudden rush, maybe they're hiding something, desperate to move on. A voice is more than sound. It's a window into the storm inside. Learn to listen, not just to words, but to how they're carried, and you'll hear truths most people miss. How do they treat the powerless? The unseen test of character. Want the fastest way to know who someone really is? Don't watch how they treat their boss, or their friends, or anyone they want something from. Watch how they treat those with no power. Servers, janitors, call center reps. People society often ignores. If someone dismisses them, snaps at them, treats them as invisible, that's not strategy, that's character. Empathy is not real empathy if it only extends upward. True character is revealed in the places where no one's watching. When I meet someone new, I don't just listen to their words. I watch how they look at the people serving water, clearing tables, answering calls. Do they say thank you? Do they smile? Or do they act as if those people don't even exist? That sets the silent test, and it never lies. How do they handle criticism? The reaction reveals the core. Offer someone a suggestion, just a small one, and watch. Do they tense up? Eyes wide, voice sharp, defensive walls rising. That's pride, fragile confidence, hiding under armor. Or do they pause, breathe, ask questions, reflect, even if they disagree? That's strength, true strength. Remember this: those who only look strong raise their voices. Those who are actually strong, they stay calm, thoughtful, measured. That reaction, just a moment long, tells you more than hours of conversation. How they end a conversation, the final impression. Endings matter just as much as beginnings, sometimes more. Watch closely. Some people vanish mid-conversation, no goodbye, no closure, like they just dropped out of a call. Others linger endlessly, clinging to the goodbye, hungry for approval. But the best, they end with ease. A smile, a simple, "Great talking to you. Catch you later." Not rushed, not dragged, just right. That final note lingers. It leaves a taste, an imprint, more lasting than their first words. Endings reveal courtesy, awareness, and self-confidence in a way few notice. But if you pay attention, it's unmistakable. Thin slicing. The brain sets hidden superpower. So how does the mind tie all of this together? How does it pull signals from eye contact, tone, gestures, distance, and opening words, sometimes in seconds? The answer is something psychologists call thin slicing, a high-speed system in the brain that makes shockingly accurate judgments with just a sliver of information. You've felt it before, that instant sense of trust or the sudden suspicion you can't explain. That's thin slicing. Malcolm Gladwell wrote about it in Blink, our ability to know in seconds what hours of analysis might confirm. Of course, biases and past wounds can distort it, but sharpened, practiced, this skill feels like a superpower. Your brain gathers fragments, the look, the distance, the rhythm of the voice, and delivers a verdict. Trust them. Be careful. Stay close. Stay away. And most of the time, it's just right. Closing the art of reading people. Sometimes it takes months to know someone, other times 10 seconds. Now you know why. Eye contact, body language, voice, space, promises, endings, all clues, all whispers, and your brain, if you let it, will connect them. But here's the caution. Don't turn this into a weapon of judgment. Averted eyes don't always mean lies. Sometimes it's just shyness, nervousness, humanity. This toolkit isn't about labels. It's about awareness, a way to sharpen your intuition, to catch signals most people overlook, to move through conversations with more clarity, more presence. Quick judgments are useful, but real connection, that takes patience. It takes time. So, notice the signals, listen to the voice, watch the eyes, and most of all, stay curious. It's because people, no matter how quickly you read them, will always have depths that take more than 10 seconds to uncover.